Good evening, 6:15, meeting of the Water Commissioners on
August 19th.
August 19th. Call the meeting to order. New business. Introduction of the new superintendent, Mary Beth. Do you have any comments or anything?
Welcome, Mary.
Thank you.
Glad to have you here.
Glad to have you.
Pleasure. Get warrant for purchase orders?
This week there are no warrants, Mr. Chairman. We took care of that last week.
I dropped off, did you get that? Did I hung up way over the
I
weekend?
did, that's been taken care of.
Okay. Transfer of the 99 Ford pickup to the cemetery department?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we donate the 99 Ford pickup with the snowplow put back together to the cemetery department. I've been here a year and a half, talking about getting rid of it. It's still out there. And coming to the meetings probably almost a year before that, talking about it. Let the cemetery get some use out of it.
I have no problem with that if for any reason they decide they don't want to use it when they get it. Just, if you do auction it off, it just goes into the water department fund, that's all I ask. But I'll second that.
Before you vote on it, Roy, that's why I'm here, you know, chairman of the cemetery. Is that, we're planning to take the dump body off of the old tree truck that was donated by the highway through Scott Levitt. We're gonna take the body off of that, take the body off of this one out here.
Yep.
And install that and put an electric hoist on it. Hopefully we can get the dual wheels off of that, they're brand new like.
I think those studs are long enough, Jack,
Yeah,
that you can put the dual wheels on that. You gotta take those kind of rims off, but
Yeah.
use your butt wheels, you know,
Together.
because it sets in and then
Yeah.
you bolt it. But I think the studs are long enough on that.
Length on them.
I think they'll slip right on that.
Yep.
Yeah, school thought they would.
But I mean, the bud wheels got the dish,
Yeah,
so you gotta put, you know, use the bud wheel
right,
and
understand.
take these sides off. I mean, there's two of those tires are new on that.
Yeah.
Two of them are.
Yeah, we can
But for
say,
what you're gonna use it for, it'd be ideal.
yeah. Now, do you fellas, do you think, Roy, that would, once we get that product, we don't wanna put bad money, good money into a bad deal, do you think? Is that truck sound enough?
That thing has got $1,200 brake job to it, and I think it's only got maybe 100 miles on it.
Okay.
So the brakes are 100%.
Yeah, I mean, we should be,
The
once
only
we
thing it
get
needs is the gas tank straps are broke.
Yeah,
Needs a couple of universal straps at Napa or
Yeah.
wherever.
okay.
And,
Inspection, it should pass.
I mean, it's got a little bit of rust here and there. You might have to, you know, throw a little bit of Mondo to it.
Most of the rust is in the utility body, and you'll be taking that off.
Well, that's gonna go.
Right, because the cross members
Which is-
underneath are gone on.
The chassis and the frame.
Yep.
Basic, you know. and put
I mean, there might be
this-
something cab on it. You might have to throw a little bit of Mondo too, you know, just to
Yeah, okay.
touch it up with some primer or something.
Well, it'll fit us good then. Thing I was.
And it gives you a plow, so you can plow the cemetery,
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
I have no problem with that.
Perfect. Yeah, on the cemetery.
yeah, it'll save the town a lot of money for us to go on a special town meeting.
Sitting out there,
For 16
somebody else might as well use it if they can use it.
Yeah, well,
Roy, the only thing I would like to rephrase, I want to donate it to the cemetery.
Yep.
With no strings attached. And they're through with it.
Oh, let me get rid of
They
it.
can scrap
Or what
it.
I'm saying, if they got it and they decided they didn't want it when they saw it or whatever.
But I want the plow to put back on it.
And all the parts, I think all the parts are here for that.
Some parts were robbed in emergency.
Yes, but I think they brought parts back for
Okay.
that.
okay.
I'm not sure if they're in the cab or in the garage, but
Yeah.
they're here
You're
somewhere.
only missing a pump anyway, is that right?
I think it's something inside, but I'm not positive. If it was a
Okay.
pump or if it was a control.
Well, whatever.
But it's supposed to be here
It's a
anyway.
Fisher plow, right?
Yes.
Easy to get parts, so we can handle that. And like, we, thank you, we had a meeting the other night.
Unless you want to make a motion, I'll second it.
I made the motion
I'll second
that
it.
we donate 99 Ford pickup with the snowplow, the parts they need to the cemetery. We donate it, no strings attached.
Okay, I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
It's yours.
Everybody, just something might be after the selectmen, that's a great idea, because if we know that.
No, I mean, one department,
That
that
old
we
truck
help
down
them
there
figure
was
out.
basically a hazard to anybody driving, so this way here,
Yeah.
we've done a decent.
Well, when you jump in
Go with a
and
new
put your
loader, and
feet,
you guys will be.
you put your feet through the floor.
Hopefully, we don't need something from the cemetery department, but.
Now you gotta get the hook in.
Pick up the cemetery.
Yeah, to get it done in the cemetery. We can get Peter with my trailer. We can throw it on my trailer and take it down
Okay.
there. Take this back home, put it
Yeah.
on the trailer.
Whatever. Oh, we can get a, it won't run at all, right?
Just needs a gas.
It just needs a strap for the gas tank, and you put gas back in.
Yeah, we can get it down there. I can
I
get.
mean, you can pull in the garage here and put a strap in it.
Well, you can-
We'll get it down there.
you
Yeah,
can
okay.
Put it on the trailer, bring it down to the scrap yard, get rid of that body. Go right over the yard,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
Whatever you gotta do, Jim.
yeah, okay, thank you.
We need anything we can help you with, let us know.
Yeah, okay, we gotta modify that, we gotta take that body, instead of going hydraulic, we're gonna go electric. There's some guy in Ipswich that does a lot of this stuff.
So you need,
So,
Yeah, but I think that's an automatic. I don't know if yours is or not.
no, just standard.
Yeah, so I mean, you'd have to change your PTO and all that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
so you're better off going electric.
Yeah, right.
you guys only throwing a stupid.
And it's not a real heavy body either on that truck that was.
No, but what I'm saying, if you had a standard transmission, you'd have to have the PTO on the side with the pump.
Right.
Anyway, you know, you go to electric, you won't have to worry about it.
Just
It's
stand back
automatic.
and just put that on, yeah. All right, thank you, gentlemen.
All right,
You're
yeah.
welcome.
Yeah, thank you. See you
See you guys.
next week, yeah.
Like,
We got Mark Griffin unemployment review.
I just wanted to say about the purchase orders, the warrants and stuff. Mary Beth, they're supposed to review those initially before we look at them.
yes,
That's what we had for a procedure for a while.
So we have something on this
What's
unemployment
with this
review.
unemployment stuff? Is there something going on, Mary Beth?
Mark Griffin, the former acting superintendent, has filed for unemployment, and we received the determination from the state that he is eligible, and we will have to pay for this. It's not budgeted for, it's an unforeseen cost, but
I thought he was a temporary.
he's filed for unemployment and is qualified, so we have to pay for it.
So we have no choice.
Well, what's not fair about this, he agreed to come for a certain time, and he left to go to China.
I mean, we would have kept him on, but he had
This is
to leave,
not-
he had prior commitment.
This is not right.
Unfortunately, this is, as much as I know,
Should-
everyone's here, so.
Maybe the selectman could help us out with that a little bit.
I don't know.
He was hired as a temporary, and he had to leave because he already had a prior commitment. And he knew it was only a part-time.
Yeah, you didn't lay him off. You
I
just-
think we should, ask
I-
a minute.
I'd like to see them check into it as far as.
I'd like to, see the administrator, oppose this, and see where it goes.
Okay.
Check with Debbie, because she deals with all these anyway.
Exactly.
I don't know what the status of it is.
And do we have a motion in that we hold this and,
Let me see the determination from the state.
Do we have one in your folder?
this here, second paper in mine.
It's probably an appeal period,
I'm just thinking that maybe, Debbie, you know,
right? Yeah,
strives
you
for it a little bit
left
different.
vol-
than-
You left voluntarily, so
Right.
I don't understand how we can collect unemployment.
That's what I'm gonna say.
I mean, we would have kept him on, but he had prior commitments.
What we're asking is the administrator to appeal this.
Okay,
Well, okay, so Debbie's gonna check into this.
all right. Do we have to have more than that, or? Maybe if you look at it.
I'll make a motion that we ask the administrator, Debbie, to appeal this benefit claim.
Do I have a second?
And a second.
All those in favor?
Uh,
Update on the Weston Sampson Water Operation Assistance.
Currently, there's about 2.5 weeks left on the existing contract, and we're going to need to look into extending that contract. In order to run the water plant, we need people, and we can't just run it with the one operator we have right now. So I'll be looking into extending that contract. I haven't determined how far out. It's based upon how quickly we can get operators in here. We're starting the interview process this week for.
Have we had anybody apply for the,
Yes, so I'll be conducting the first interview for the full-time secondary operator tomorrow. And,
now we're gonna have them come to the board too, or you're gonna interview them and then we interview them?
I was gonna do a screening of all the applicants and
Okay.
then bring to the board, who I felt should be brought to the next round. We discuss it then.
Okay.
But that's just all based upon how quickly we can get, these candidates in here, starting them, and,
See if you can get some numbers, weekly or monthly or whatever.
because once we start that plant up and running.
How are they up there testing them this week?
Yep, the Paul Corporation's actually there this week, reconditioning the filters. They've sat for 3 months, which is not an ideal situation. So they're up there right now, reconditioning the filters and trying to get the plant up and running and making sure that because the plant did sit for that period of time, that there are not going to be any issues.
How far away are we?
Excuse me?
How far away are we from actually being able to use that plant?
We're working off of the punch list, and it's going to take manpower to operate. Because once we turn the plant on to deliver the treated water to the customers, we can't shut it down. So we're going to have to keep it running. It's not the thing where, I've got one operator, and if he's up there operating, and we have a main break, or something else happens, we can't just turn the plant off and on, off and on. It's meant to be run.
Well, once that plant's on, we gotta shut 5 down anyway, correct?
Right, so what's gonna happen with that is, that phase of the project, well number 5, we can't begin that until we are fully operational and up and running with the treatment. So roughly, tentatively, we're looking maybe at the first week in September to start on well 5, roughly. And we'll have, I'm working on getting, I'm going to be meeting with Weston and Sampson to get an update on the schedule, of where we're at. And I got hold of the punch list, so it's not very many things, it's very some small things, mostly cosmetic.
In the meantime, if you need something for a board thing, once we get 2 days notice,
I'm sorry?
if we have to have, something where we get, sign something here for Weston Sampson, or if you need to meet with us, as long as we get 2 days notice, we can post a meeting and have a meeting, and
Okay,
whatever we need to do to get that plan online and get it going.
we're very close, we're very close.
No, I'm just saying, what we gotta do to get it going.
Absolutely, okay.
I was up there last Wednesday with Ken One, and he did his inspection, and just John Sikora had to come in last Thursday morning, some sign-offs, and I understand that he came in with, so we have an occupancy permit.
Temporary.
I think it's for 60 days.
What do we have to do to have
The punch list.
the punch list has to be
And
finished?
this was some additional requirements from the fire department with signage and matter of changing color of paint from red to gray on some of the
What's in the
Oh, the insurance was transferred on Friday.
Yeah,
last
I
Friday.
signed that.
Yep, last Friday, so Rowley is now carrying the insurance for the treatment plant. And that was, we wanted to make sure we had a temporary occupancy. So that happened on Thursday last week, and then we did the insurance transfer on Friday. So we've been in there since Monday, getting things, trying to get things up and running.
Okay. Anything else on anything?
I think that's pretty much it.
So the town of Rowley owns the building now, not the contract.
The insurance was transferred.
Now the town paying the insurance. The town has taken over the building, Western Sampson.
I'll have to look into where we're at with that, because I'm not exactly sure. I mean, we have keys to the building, we now have access to get inside.
Town ain't gonna own the building, you and I will be bought, so like that.
Excuse me?
I said, you and I will be bought by the time the town owns that building.
No, I don't think, what I meant is taking control
Yep.
of Western Sampson. We
We
have the keys to the building now, you said.
Yes.
Move on to F, paving at 36 Tobridge Circle.
Has it been done, Mary Beth?
So,
Tobin Circle?
yeah, it was a break or some sort of, I had to attend to, and, it was,
He was supposed to go back and repave it,
right,
and
correct.
it settled again, but it wasn't
It settled, we just needed
compacted
to-
correctly to begin with.
Exactly.
Well, it was in the middle of the night, so.
Right. No, I mean, it wasn't anything the paving guy did, he paved it,
Well, I just
and then
happened to
it kept settling. So we're all set on that for now. I will give him a call and just make sure he did do it. Old business. Repair of the stone wall on Bradford Street, which is finally done.
Oh, it's completed?
Yes, it is. Completed, and we have the bill, I gave it to him over the weekend. So it'll be on our next warrant that we have for bills. I went by and looked at it, I think he did an excellent job, I don't know if you, one of you guys looked at it or not.
I have not been by.
No, I think he did a really good job.
Good.
Flag purchase bid,
The flagpole, we do have one on the back that we can use, so we don't have to purchase it. We just make arrangements for someone to, get a footing out there for it.
I think what we need to do is, we get the back of Leon, I can't see why we can't dig the hole. Do we have anybody to form that up? You know, we can get Rowley ready, for somebody to go down and pour us a good hunk of cement.
Well, we only have one operator, so it's kind of hard to have him do other things other than, check the stations and,
So what do we do? We gotta,
um,
we need a labor, I don't know if we get someone from the highway department maybe to go down and do that.
we'll
for
work
us.
on it. We'll work on coordinating, how we're gonna get that installed.
Maybe you can check with Patrick and see if we get the whole dug, if, I could dig a hole, what they gotta have, and maybe you can come down and form that up for us. He's got an extra labor around it and form that up.
Perhaps if you get the man to fix the stone wall. Okay.
Well, we can do that too, if we want to do something like that, I mean, we dig a hole and just get somebody to form it up, and all we do is caulk it and cement, I mean, we need somebody who, the last time they didn't put enough cement to it, just like they did the fence posts. We need enough cement to hold.
Don't go there.
Okay.
Leave the fence
Take care of it.
All right, so will you check with Pat, see if he, if somebody can take care of that? And if not, then we'll, see if we can get the guy just fix some more for us.
Yeah, no, we'll take care of it. We'll get it installed.
And if you guys gonna do work, I mean, unless you guys wanna just get, all right, maybe it gonna cost that much to have the, well, a thing for us. Whatever you guys wanna do.
I just don't feel we can keep
Well, the other thing we could do is,
Let out somebody else to check, I mean, we have to.
You want me to check with him and see if there's something he can do?
well, we could have somebody take care of that and then fix those posts up there. You know,
So you wanna do both at the same time?
if he's gonna be here, he might as well be here once, mobilize once,
What post?
fence posts.
But let me talk to him and see, give an idea of him, and I'll get in touch with you guys. All right? Pavement at, the 401 Central Street loop entrance.
Sorry, Jim, I just wanted to, add the fence, and just remind the board that anything we do need to get 3 prices. We do need to do pricing, for this type of work, so.
But I mean, something like that, I think probably gonna be a couple $100. It's what, over 25, correct?
I don't know what the limit is.
But if we're gonna be having, doing alternate work, with the fencing, one of the things that I'm gonna be doing, because we have had some issues here, with things disappearing from the yard, that we need, a better fencing system.
Well, I agree 100%, but for right now, we just get the flagpole that,
Yeah.
if it's $100, $200, I mean, we don't have to put something like that over there, you know?
Good business practice.
We could always, very good, what we could always do is, for the post out here, and the fence, and maybe put that underneath one thing,
Well,
before whole other sets in.
what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be looking for grant money, trying to get
For what?
grant money, which,
Okay.
Lansing County
Well,
has.
maybe we can all work in on that.
Because there's additional fencing that needs to go up the gates, the
Yeah.
water tank and that, so it's kind of like a project. We go to form a formal.
Why don't we hold off on this and just have me get the flagpole thing in?
I only mention that because.
I'll check with him and I'll let you guys know, get a rough idea. I mean, if it's a lot of money, then yes, we'll do a bit, but I can't believe that forming something like that, and a yard of cement's gonna be more than $500,000.
I only mention that because you had brought up
Yeah.
re-cementing back here, so it's kind of going beyond the flagpole to something
Okay.
else. That's a-
Let's do the flagpole now, and then we'll worry about that
Yes,
with your other.
that's a good idea.
Paving at 401 Central Street. Any comments?
What's the issue?
The paving company, the paving project for this facility needs to go out to a formal bid.
We did.
I couldn't find any bid documents or.
He has 3 bids and he has a certificate of insurance.
All right, it's not getting 3 prices. This is a project that needs to be budgeted in capital. So I'm prepared to present something for fall town meeting.
I think right now, my feeling is, I'm not sure of the board members, it's a safety issue out here right now.
I
It has to
agree.
be done.
I agree, but
And we have the bid, we have the money to do it, I think we need to do it.
it needs to go up to formal bid.
We did.
We can't use operating money to do a
We
capital
have,
project.
it's not capital, it's a safety issue. Somebody's gonna get hurt out there, we're gonna be in trouble.
You know,
It's
to
an
respect,
appropriation of town funds to do it in the way that was currently gonna be done.
I mean, somebody falls out there, we're gonna have an insurance
It's-
case.
Well, I understand that, but it's been like that since, it didn't happen overnight, it's been like that, it needs to
It's
go.
getting worse.
It needs to go out to a formal bid
you know,
and officially ask for the money at town meeting to do the paving the correct way.
I don't see why we can't take it out of maintenance, because I mean, it is a maintenance.
It's
issue.
not budgeted.
to respect Mary Beth, I feel it's a maintenance, issue. However, I'm not the superintendent, I'm going to listen.
It needs to go up to bid.
What are you estimating the cost at?
We got 3 bids,
Okay, what kind of cost?
and we're gonna take it $9,500.
That's just to do the front, but the whole thing needs to be.
No, we're not doing stages, remember?
We're not interested in doing the rest of it.
All right,
Just up
but this
front.
out here, somebody gets out of their car at night, and I mean, it's kind of dark, and somebody gets out of the car and falls in one of them holes, and falls and gets hurt, it's gonna cost us a lot more than that $9,500 to fix the driveway.
I'm in agreement that it does need to be done, but I'm just asking the board to entertain that we need to put this out to formal bid, that if we go ahead,
But it was a phone bid.
getting 3 prices is not a formal bid. Bid specs need to be written up, it needs to be
We have all
advertised.
that paperwork.
I could not find any of that.
You've got it all.
Well, I have the three bids, I don't have the
Three
advertising.
prices.
I mean, it's got the measurement, it's got what they're gonna do, and the thicknesses and everything else.
There was no certificate of insurance? on
Yes,
it?
there is. He's got it.
Okay.
It's been my understanding that,
It came in a month ago, a month and a half ago.
it's been my understanding that under $10,000, you could get free quotes.
And we did get 3 quotes. We did get the certificate of insurance from him. And it needs to be done before somebody gets hurt, Mary Beth.
I completely understand that. However, it was not budgeted for.
It doesn't have to be, it's
It
maintenance.
has to be, but that's a large dollar amount to pull out of an operating budget. It needs to be in there. I mean,
As far as I'm concerned, it's a safety issue and it's maintenance.
Where should it have been with the budget that was presented?
it should have been in the capital to pay this parking here. There should have been something put in the capital when the
So
capital.
would it be like a capital improvement versus a
Yes.
maintenance item?
Yes.
But could it be considered a maintenance item also?
You wait till fall town meeting, you can
A
build.
maintenance item would be if there was a little pothole patching would be maintenance on the driveway.
Trying to patch that out there is like putting a Band-Aid on something that needs
Oh, no,
stitches.
this can't be patched. It doesn't need to be redone.
We had a price in that. And it's ridiculous, because you're wasting money. Because it was $1,000 from coming and patch it and breaking up right beside it. So I mean, if somebody falls up there, we're gonna have a mess.
I completely understand that. I'm
It's up to the rest of the board, but as far as I'm concerned, we should get it fixed right away.
My recommendation is to prepare a formal bid package, to bring this first to bring it to town meeting in the fall.
And you ain't gonna get it done in the spring.
To request the additional funds to do the project.
You can't pay in the winter.
No,
We
no,
gotta
I
get it
know.
fixed.
I understand that.
I believe we have 35,000 for maintenance, and that's 9,500.
The
That's not even-
35,000 for maintenance for the entire department to fix.
That's not cutting in the new driveway, that's repairing what you have. That's the way I see it.
Do you want to investigate
That's all I
it
have.
the way that the board would like it done? I mean, if the bids were put out by the board. Let's see if there's some way that you can put it in the right cubby hole and make everybody happy.
I will look into it a little further. Yes.
I'm not happy with it, but we'll, but somebody gets hurt, I do not want to hear anybody complain to me that it wasn't taken care of.
So by the next meeting, maybe you can investigate it further to see if we can accomplish this sooner rather than later without going to calling it a capital expense, and maybe just call it a maintenance thing. Just see what you can do. Okay?
Water treatment plant fence complete and reviewed. Do you have something on that?
Yes, the fence.
Okay, yes, basically, Agawam fence here in town, wants to, get their crew out there, in August. And,
This is for the piece of fence that's missing at the new place.
right, just to order the rest of the material that's needed.
I
And
thought the materials were on site.
there wasn't enough to cover the distance.
What do we get for price?
It's in the, package there.
15,488.50.
I think we have a $4,000 credit coming back as well, on that. So,
In other words, this company's supplying everything, and the fence that's up there on the job, we're getting a credit coming back because the previous vendor took the
Correct.
fences.
Did we have 3 bids in this?
yes,
And it's also being paid out of the SRF, too.
Well, we had 3 bids.
So it's not
And they are the
coming out of
cheapest.
budget.
they're the cheapest.
No, this isn't coming out of the budget.
It's going to the SRF, so
It's
we need the
5,000.
fence, we need the fence, we need the fence.
Any comments?
Is there a certificate of insurance on that?
Yes, he does, and prevailing wage,
Good nature?
prevailing wage as well.
So how many, we got 3 bids on this, and this was the lowest bid? What were the other bids?
22,000, 18,000.
Okay. Did you review that, Mary Beth?
Excuse me?
Did you review that?
I did, I went over it kind
Okay.
of
What's your recommendation?
to, we need the fence.
Okay.
To go with
Yeah,
this.
we'll lose the window, this gentleman can do it because he's goes until.
So we need a vote tonight?
Excuse me?
We need a vote tonight?
Yeah, well, it's the approval vote on it.
For the fence.
I'll make a motion that we accept this pricing for the fence to be paid to the SRF.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
Had the water treatment plant update. Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I have complaints here. Had some folks, they get a bill and the old balance is added on, and there's, they cancel checks, this is happening too much. Kind of check. And it's a canceled check, we pay the bill.
I'm not impressed with them lately, I'll tell you that, so, I don't think personally believe it was the worst thing we did.
Don't get me wrong, we all make mistakes,
Yeah. No, I
but
just,
this is,
we've had so many complaints since Pennachuck has taken over, and I'm not happy with it at all.
there's a copy of the canceled checks.
One other thing I'd like to bring up too, while we're on talking about the water bill things. On the last day of the month, correct, is when the discount
Yes.
ends. I'd like to see what it would cost us to have Carmen, somebody be here until like 6 o'clock at night, people get out of work. That are missing it, coming in, instead of 3 o'clock. So somebody's here to accept these, people come in with cash, I cash for the thing.
We're gonna have like one cash payment.
Give me a few now, And it isn't fair to the people that are trying to make it, they're working all day long, and they're trying to make it down so they can get their discount. And I just feel that we need somebody here till 5, 6 o'clock, just to, let them come in and do if they want. I don't know what the rest of the board feels on that, but
I feel somebody should be in the office here at all times. Please.
no, what I'm saying
Hours
is,
or what?
people get out of work at 3:30, 4 o'clock, they're working in Boston, the city, they're in traffic, they try to make it here, even we give them till 5 o'clock, on the last day of the discount, whatever day that comes to, if it's 31st, 1st, whatever.
What are you're saying 1 day a month?
Yes, for a couple hours. On the last day of the discount.
I understand what you're saying.
And with that, I'll need to take a look at the budget to see what is budgeted for overtime for Carmen, before any decisions about.
No, that's what I'm saying, I'd like us to check into it, see what it's gonna cost us to have that done. If it's a matter of $30, $40 and it helps out some of the townspeople, how far?
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question? If someone how does the discount date work? In other words,
Well, same as the light department now.
no, but I mean, if you get a check here on say the 31st, and a check, when do they get the information so that they can credit?
As long as it's arrived here
The
by the
date,
Do you
31st.
notify Pennachuck that you have it?
the
Or how
package,
does that work?
the package gets dated with the date it was received. So if you come in today, the 19th, and it goes out tomorrow, it doesn't make a difference, it's marked, it was received on the 19th.
If I had somebody complain to me, and I'm getting this second or third hand, so I don't know, that they sent a check, or drop a check off here 2 or 3 days before.
As long as it's
the end of the
received
month.
here by midnight the 31st, it's good as far as I'm concerned.
But then the following month, they got a bill for, they lost the, supposedly lost the,
Yeah, we've had quite a few complaints with the same.
That's exactly what I'm talking about, Dave.
that's probably what,
And I'm just not impressed with it, with the way they run that operation.
I mean, states,
Here it cancel checks on the water bill, all paid.
all right, that's probably the same kind of thing. In other words, we gotta straighten it out with a pen check.
But as far as I'm concerned, if it's received here by midnight on the 31st, or he gets here
Right,
on the 1st and goes to that box and it's there, then it was put in there because he was there at 7 o'clock in the
I
morning.
think it just needs to
It's
be.
in the box, they get the discount.
And it needs to be just coordinated with pen check to make sure that they're getting that information and that, and they're doing the same thing that you guys. It's just a matter of melding it all together so everybody's the same.
I have a phone call in and just to set the meeting so that I can come to speed with the contract. I've looked through it.
It just seems like there's so many complaints, they're not people friendly.
Here, that's finished.
But we do, I mean, I've talked with Carmen, and we have had some other issues with the customer service side, you know, that when they're calling Penachuk, that there've been issues, or even town employees have tried to get information, and it's been a struggle when they should be able to provide that information without the struggle.
Exactly.
So I have a small list, but if there are any other issues that you're aware of, if you could give me a list, then I can bring them up with Penachuk and try to work through
Well,
them.
there's a perfect example of Sue's got right there.
I think one of the things that was going on too is that they were waiting for some direction, looking for somebody to come in and, you know, meet with them, talk with them, work through these things. So I think if we give them a chance, we can work, these are things that are fixable, these are things, you know, these things that can be corrected.
Oh, I agree with you,
And if we don't tell them, they're not gonna know, really, if
wanna-
we don't bring it up. So I think,
we need to get the bugs out of it.
can I get copies of this so that I could have that for as a reference when I talk to them about what the issues are? Oh, thank you. I'll put them in your box when I finish, okay?
Anything else, Sue?
I said my piece about the driveway. Took care of the old truck. That backhoe needs to be cleaned up, it's a mess, it's grease all over.
You notice that. Again, we've got just one guy.
I know.
I understand,
I know one thing, next year in the budget,
should have been all
you
the
better
grease.
plan on getting a laborer in here that can do a little bit of everything for us.
I'm working on the staffing plan.
You know, instead of a part-time guy, because the thing is, the part-time guy got, we're gonna be in a mess already. He's already gone. We're still gonna have to mow again, at least once. We need a full-time labor, somebody that can cut grass, do the hydrants, jump in the hole when the guy's got a break, you know, run for parts, or something, you know what I mean? We need a full-time labor.
And I'm working on it. I'm working on developing a staffing plan for the water department, which will involve additional employees and which will be presented, you know, for town
I mean,
meeting in the
like,
fall.
last year we had, the kid was here, real good worker, he was with us a couple, 3 years. They wouldn't let him go in the hole, you know, when they had a water break. And we need somebody that's gonna be covered, so it's a full-time position, so they can do that kind of stuff.
The reason that he needs to be an operator. A laborer is not an operator, so it has to be.
A laborer, somebody that can do everything, maybe somebody when we set up when we hire somebody, that give them so much time to just start training as an operator maybe. You know, and his pay would go up as it goes along,
We can look into
but
that.
I mean, we need some help there.
Yes, we do, and I'm gonna be working on that. It's one of the, getting the treatment plan online and staffing, it's the top priorities.
all set.
I don't know, is there a meeting, town meeting scheduled for this fall?
Yeah. End of October, I think, I'm gonna say October 27th, but I think it's the last Monday in October, I'm not sure if it's the 27th.
What's the reason you're gonna have a meeting?
We need to transfer a lot of CPC money for the ball fields and stuff like that, anyway, and then along with whatever other issues come up. We definitely need to do some things with Girl Scout camp, the ball fields, Bright Street property, amongst other things.
What are we gonna do about the pickup truck?
And superintendent use of the 150 on call emergency. Any comment from board? I have no problem with it.
Are you using the vehicle now?
Yes,
To using it full-time during the week and bringing it home, things like that? Okay. Was there any kind of discussion with the board for that, or
it was in my letter of offer from the town.
was the letter of offer, were you involved with that, Dave?
My letter of offer came from Debbie.
Okay.
I have no problem
She
whatsoever.
didn't talk to us about this offer. Typically, what we do is we have a board here and we oversee the renting of using that vehicle. We have had some problems in the past. So I don't know how the board feels or something the board feels about that. So I know it was in your offer letter, but nobody talked to us. We just found out about it this week.
We had to take the vehicle away from the previous company superintendent. Which was the vehicle.
I feel,
The selectmen increased your salary roughly $3,000 more than what was in the budget for your job. We can't give you everything.
Do we have a copy do we get a copy of this letter for your offer? Or?
I don't know.
Well, I think there's some confusion, Mary Beth, about the roles of the superintendent, the employees of the department, the board, and how this all fits.
the thing is right now,
So I'm thinking that, what we need to do is maybe have, like an organization chart, and hopefully figure out whose role is, you've got a board here, and we're usually overseeing all the decisions here. This is the first we've heard about this offer with the truck. I don't think that's standard practice. Do you think you can come up with like an organization chart that you think that this department needs?
Which is what I'm working on.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
I've been working on a staffing plan.
I think that would clear up a lot of the confusion about,
The
who
thing
makes
is,
decisions and whose role,
right now,
things like that, so.
we're short-staffed as it is. If something happens in the middle of the night, we need Mary Beth here as quick as possible. So I'd like to make a motion until Mary Beth comes up with something that we actually vote on, that she saves with the pickup and uses it. And at her discretion, I mean, I know you're not gonna abuse it, but,
I'm not using it for personal use,
Right.
I'm using it to go back.
so I have no problem with it, so I'd like to have a motion that,
The trucks,
we let them use it for now until we come up with a policy and standard. If it's 30 days, 60 days,
the truck goes into 3 states, but in all fairness, it's probably 45 minutes away, 40 minutes.
It's between 25 minutes in the morning, maybe 30, 35 at night.
What's the blue lights?
so do I have a second on my motion?
Who pays the tolls?
I do.
I would like to see the letter, the offer letter for an only employee
No, what I'm saying
before I make a vote
is,
on it.
I'm saying until we have the paperwork in front of us, if it's 30 days or we go 60 days, whatever, She uses it until then, and then we'll decide at a different date after we have,
She's using it with the authority of the town town assistant, administrative assistant.
I don't feel comfortable with that, Lloyd, because you give somebody something. Yeah, you should take it back if they're not abusing it.
I'm not saying.
I have no problem with
Tell
her.
Mary Beth would.
I'd like to see the letter that offered you the vehicle without really consulting with this board. You know, I don't have a problem with you using it, but I don't know how I made the offer letter. I don't.
All right, how about we do this? Mary Beth will use the pickup until we get the paper from town hall, and next meeting we'll make a decision. Anybody in agreement with that?
I just said, I hate to give somebody something and have to take it back.
I think we need to do more investigating.
I'm sure
We weren't more
Mary Beth
involved
will
with this.
choose the vehicle.
All I'm saying is, in the meantime, until till our next meeting, and get the, whatever Debbie gave you or whatever, filing research, you can use the pickup and make a decision at the next meeting after we have some paper.
I would like to see the paperwork.
We're not gonna get it tonight, it's 6
Oh, I know,
o'clock.
but she can still use the vehicle, because she's been authorized by the person running the town. We have
Still use the pickup till the next meeting, and we'll make a decision then. Is that all right?
So,
Yes.
Take a vote on it. I'll go on.
Do I have a second?
Set a vote on it.
All those in
I
favor?
don't think we need a vote, but, I've abstained. You guys vote on it.
I made a motion, you second it, so I mean, all those in favor, say aye. Well, next meeting. then we'll
She's
make a
authorized to
decision.
use it. She's authorized, there's no vote necessary at all. She's already authorized.
Okay. Anything else? Tim? Sue?
So we have a temporary occupancy permit down.
Yes.
And what remains to be done down there to get the primary?
As Mary Beth said, we'll see cosmetic.
Any particulars?
Nothing I can call off the top of my head. Some touching up on the paint. It's, when you're cutting, when you're painting, it was obvious the strokes. It's like, they use a roller, but then when they cut in around the hinges, they use the brush. So it really looks terrible.
Okay.
And then we had to have them, just shift the window, the windows that go into you can see into the laboratory operations area. They shifted the windows down, so there's just some cosmetic, they've sanded it, they've got to come back in, and the painter has to come back in and paint.
Is anybody up there working on any of this stuff?
I was up there yesterday, I didn't see anybody. Today I was only up there for a little bit, because I got stuck doing other things. While I was there, I didn't see anybody working on the punch list, but it's on small things like the fire extinguishers, to put the fire extinguisher signs.
Can you go with John
Taz.
tomorrow and see when they got that side and all that?
They're gonna be working on it. Carmen and I have to get some other stuff that we can get, we just got a punch list of items to order, that will do it rather than doing a change order for it. These are things we're just gonna take care of rather than adding a change order to the project. Small, I think it was $130 something worth of small things that we just need to get done.
There's one thing that I noticed. I went out there, took a ride out there the other day, and it was after the rain, and there was like 3 very large puddles to get into there. So is there any thing on the punch list that would reflect them improving that road before they go out of there, or?
They were supposed to grade it.
Yes. Well, remember, we're still under construction. They're still gonna be mobilizing back on the property to do well number 5. So I believe that's probably gonna be one of the last items on the list. They'll come back in, they'll grade it, and they'll put down gravel and and improve the road.
Okay. So if you could just make sure that that's accomplished. Those puddles are quite deep.
It was.
That's
Seen it.
imperative for emergency vehicles.
Yes, and that was on with the fire department. one time, yes.
Yes, that was.
And is the seasonal labor we have, is he still working now? or is-
No,
His last day was
Last
Friday.
Wednesday.
Well,
Okay,
Last
so now
Wednesday.
we got a grass situation there at that treatment plant, so how are we gonna handle that?
I believe that I saw in one of the piles, some quotes for mowing. I haven't really looked into that, I will look into that. I do need to, some further plantings, I met with the Conservation Commission today. There's some areas I wanted further clarification on, we wanted to just, the regrowth areas. So I have some direction from the Conservation Commission on what we need to do, so, we'll be working on that. It's the, when you drive up, it's that slope embankment
So
along
that's
the
gonna be
road.
out of that money up there though, correct? That's not out of,
It should be, because part of it was there is a landscape plan, and they need to go back in and do some more seeding, and it's called for wildflower mix of seed in those regrowth areas, so I do have a punch list I'm working on also from the Conservation Commission.
Okay, so you got a punch list.
Yeah.
Okay. So when's the final punch list?
Going to be meeting with Weston Sampson sometime this week or early next week to go over the punch list and a timeline. I've asked them that going forward with the project that they report to me as to what's going on and to, especially with the second half of the project with the well redevelopment number 5 and cutting and everything. So we're going to go over the punch list, we'll be getting a revised punch list, so we can see where we're at. And I've asked them for a timeline. You know, when are these things going to be done? Because they're just small things that need to be done. Maybe 1 or 2 bigger things, but nothing that will, stop it. But until the treatment plant is fully finished, the punch list, and we're up and running 100%, nothing will be done with moving forward with the second part there with well number 5. We need to finish and make sure that that place is operational, because then we'll be down.
sooner the better.
This, we're working on it.
Anybody else have anything else?
it's coming together now.
Have a motion for adjournment?
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.